No, we pitched. I don't know. I think we pitched a. I'm not 100% sure about this, but I'm pretty sure that we pitched an episode in which another girl in her class had her first period, and she felt left out. So she decided to tell everybody that she had become a woman. And so another kid in the class stuck his hand up her dress, and he was so traumatized that he committed suicide. So the episode was entitled, "How Do You Say Goodbye to a Friend?"
You are watching the Open Mic Comedy Show, where we'd like to say hello.
It's all just wires down there, I believe was that was the act break line.
What we're doing here is, who knew this show had one pitcher and one catcher? Mike, we've caught you chatting about your days of yore writing television shows.
We pitched another episode. They didn't like this one either, which was
this is for Small Wonder.
Yes, for Small Wonder, because
I had a Small Wonder.
I can't remember the name of the
brewing, Laura. I had a Small Wonder pun brewing and the segue. But feel free, step on my greatness. Go right ahead.
I'm sorry.
That's
what have you ever done to give the impression that she was going to be stepping on greatness from you?
I meant, my width and breadth.
I
am.
You're certainly your breadth.
I am feeling fat today.
Let's hear it.
Well, if we're gonna get great, then it's time to introduce our host, ladies and gentlemen. Probably segue into some brilliance.
Chuck, we want to hear your joke, for God's sakes. Don't pout now.
There's no joke. It's just time to introduce you.
No, I was just gonna tell the other pitch that was high. I can't remember the name of the girl that was the robot. Do you remember, Chuck? Vicky?
No, she was definitely the Small Wonder. Laura might have it.
No, you just said it. I believe it was Vicky. I think you're right.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was Vicky, but Vicky had to keep shutting down because her surrogate mother kept taking the batteries out of her and using it in the bedroom. And I don't know why. The whole episode was about explain, if you will, why Aunt Martha hums so much when she's in the bedroom.
Now you might be watching. You might be watching
music, but she doesn't like to sing, Vicky.
You might be listening. You might be Googling what is Small Wonder. What you have here is, first of all, Miles Davis on trumpet. And if you're like, I thought there was going to be a comedy show, calm the fuck down. It's on its way. All right. It's just, this is an open mic. And we're casually strolling towards the stage and microphone. Soon.
I like to make this a safe space. If I say the things that I've been saying, I don't think people need to be too worried about what they're going to say during their sets.
It's a safe space to talk about finger banging a 4-year-old robotic puppet.
First of all, she was not 4 years old. She was like 10 years old, and she had the
in robot years.
Well, now you.
Well,
and the lifetime warranty.
She was built to look like she was 10, maybe 11 years old, but she had the casing of a 13-year-old. It's
getting more creepy, Mike.
Good, because that's what I was headed for. That's what I was going through.
I'm with you on this one.
I did pretty much 7 minutes about the uncle nobody wants you to be left alone with at a reunion. So I got nowhere to go but up.
Jeffrey Burden has his hand up. I'm not sure.
Oh, apologies.
Right.
Sorry.
This isn't quite a board meeting.
Is it more or less
everybody.
time to start this?
It's a way time. We've started on the YouTube, people listening to the podcasts and
all right.
such out there on the Spotify's. Hello. You've got a classic episode of Monday Night Sensation that's traveling all over the galaxy.
Oh, yeah, this is like
possibly
our show comes on right after I Love Lucy on the planet Greznek.
Right. We're hot in Greznek.
Where they think Alf is a documentary. Since we're talking about the same era as Small Wonder.
Era or era?
No.
Era, that's how you pronounce it if you're literate.
That's Bruce
era
Lipsky.
if you want.
You're going to hear tonight, there's Paula Mattocks. We'll probably have Paula Mattocks, Laura Hugg, Jeffery Burden, Josh DiDonato, Michelle Malazaki, right? Frank Moshman, Jeffery Burden II, Ned Rice. Lots of comedians
some people
coming
come
up.
in too.
How would you wrangle all of these giant personalities and humorists? You would get yourself an award-winning, a master of ceremonies, a person with vast experience, and at least a mild sense of humor. So would you please welcome, ladies and gentlemen, Mike Langworthy, the host of the
Thank you very
Open Mic
much. I
Comedy
have
Show.
two of those three qualities. It's always a pleasure to be here for the little Monday night comedy seminar, and we're gonna get an audience in here one day, and man, are they gonna be shocked at how great this show is. I like to talk about Small Wonder, and that, of course, is my wife's nickname for part of me.
Let me guess, Mike, your ego.
Right. Yes.
Yeah, that's what I
In fact, it is my ego. And my ego is small for a very, very good reason that I bet you could understand in a heartbeat if you really put your mind to it.
Nothing comes to mind, but okay.
Yeah.
It's not that my ego is small, it's that it's weak.
Oh, even worse.
Yeah, it's even worse than that. And this is a delight. We have people that I haven't seen in a while on the show tonight, some people who are pretty regular. For some reason, Bruce Lipsky has not shown up. I'm hoping that a couple of people will come in from the specials they're doing across the hall.
Can't see me?
Well, I can't see you in comedy. Or did you mean like literally?
Literally.
Oh, I'm sorry, my mistake.
You
I
said
thought
the
I was
quiet
talking
part
about
out loud,
Doc,
Mike.
by the way, Bruce. Just so you know. At any rate, gosh, oh golly, it's that time. Hey, did you know that I had lunch? No, brunch with because that makes a difference. With Jim Backus once, the guy who played.
No.
Yeah.
Thurston Howell.
Yeah, I know
wow.
who he played. You don't have to tell me who he played.
And he was in
You
Mad
had
World.
to tell us. That was
Yes, he was in a Mad World also.
And he did the voice for Mr.
Many
Magoo.
other things. He did some dramas. He was a big actor on radio. He was really a fun guy, and I really enjoyed having brunch with him, with my then girlfriend, who is now my no one because we broke up before I met my wife. I hope you're taking notes out there in television land, because
right. Or watching
it's all going to be
Can I
in my
get a
book,
transcript?
My Meteoric Rise to the Bottom.
that describes my night last night.
Oh, does it? Hello.
Chuck, I heard it was a race to the bottom. That's
His favorite song is Twinkle Twinkle Little Twink.
They say bottoms up.
Bottoms up, actually. Yeah. Chuck wants to be buried with his ass sticking out of the ground.
Thank you.
Just in case somebody needs a bike.
You're Polish, Chuck?
Somebody wants a
just in
cold
case
one?
somebody needs a bike rack.
Thank
Oh.
you.
No, come on. Why do you even go there, Mike? See, I'm just disappointing everyone. I know. My dead parents are rolling over in their, well, they would be, but they were cremated. So
They're blowing in their grave.
they're so dead. They're spread over, It's the best thing my father ever did. It's the first time he was ever around me that he wasn't killing anything with his toxic poison. But I love my father. Why? No, I don't know. And it's not true. But let's not get into that. No, come on. In real life, he was a wonderful man who changed a lot of people's lives for the better. And mine just 3 years ago. At any rate, I don't know why I got off on that tangent. Chuck, why do you let me go off on these tangents?
Oh, 1 out of 7 is hysterically funny.
and the other 6 are just real funny.
Yeah, yeah. The variations of mildly funny, all the way up
No,
to,
mildly. The floor is higher than
awfully funny.
Let's be honest, Chuck.
I'm
The
being
floor is
honest,
higher
1
than
out of
mildly.
7.
Mildly.
Some of them are just informative.
Thanks, Ned.
Right. Right.
That was a very, very pithy remark to make on this, your last night on the open mic.
Right.
Or in show business in general.
Hey, you know what? We've got a
love your
show
TED
lined up
chit-chat.
for you. We have a show lined up for you tonight.
Oh, good.
And I'm going to bring on a guy who's always patient and he's cheerfully goes on whenever we ask him to go on. And tonight I want to give him the reward, as it were, of being our first act of the evening. And I think you're going to like him. Those of you who don't know him already, and those of you who do know him already like him. And yeah, I was the valedictorian of my introduction class when I was in college. Be that as it may, please welcome, if you will, Bruce Lipsky. Bruce Lipsky.
Thank you very, very much. I always talk about me and my wife, been together a long time, about 30 years. And recently we went shopping for a new mattress. And we were at Sleepy's and there's so many different choices. I just couldn't figure it out. All I know is I like mine soft. She likes hers hard. Like I haven't heard that over the last 30 years. But she wound up actually buying something online. She bought an avocado mattress. She spent $3,000 on this thing. She says she's going green. She's spending green. That's about it here. And they claim that this mattress is organic. I don't want organic in my bedroom. I want orgasmic. And after 2 weeks, it went bad. So I asked for a replacement. The mattress, not my wife. And it was lumpy. I felt like I was sleeping on a bed of guacamole. I said to my wife, what am I, a fajita? What's next, sour cream pillows? But she ordered also one of those Craftmatic adjustables. Don't have a fight with your wife or spouse at night with one of those things. We had an argument. Next thing you know, she took the remote control, put the bed in the shape of a V. I said, I can't get in. She said, that's not the only V you're not getting into tonight.
Hey, wait a minute.
All I know, she puts the temper in Tempur-Pedic. But, she's a great lady, but she's obsessed with buying things. Amazon. The packages are nonstop. It just rezoned my front porch as a loading dock. I got boxes stacked to the roof. Every time I pull one out, I feel like I'm playing a game of Jenga for Giants. I'm constantly climbing from the front porch to the living room to the second floor. I'm like a personal delivery monkey or Amazon primate. And she said, Bruce, your birthday's coming up. I want to get you something special. What do you want? I said, how about a forklift? The other day, she was painting in the driveway. Big letters, reserved for UPS. So what's that all about? Now I figured it out. She's having an affair with the UPS guy. She's constantly bragging about how big his package is. And now she only wants backdoor delivery.
Hello.
I know what Brown's doing for her. What's he doing for me? And now she's into fantasy role play. I have to dress up in brown shorts, construction boots, and carry a clipboard. Anytime I want to have sex, I got to sign for it. This is making my family life miserable. The only smiles in my house now are the ones on the cardboard boxes. But we love doing things together. Broadway shows, nice dinners, the UPS guy. But you know, we used to have cats. We had a cat at 23 years. And when his cat passed away, my wife said, I want a dog. She couldn't just buy a regular dog. She had to get one of those designer dogs. $6,000 she spent on this thing. She carries it around like a Gucci handbag. Except the Gucci handbag only costs $3,000. And I'd rather have the handbag. At least it doesn't need to be walked 6 times a day or pee on your couch. And she's named this dog Fabio. I call him Houdini because with 2 wags of his tail, he's made my sex life completely disappear. It's really hard to perform when there's 4 extra legs and a pair of eyes in your bed. And the dog. Plus, he's trying to give me pointers now. The other day he said to me, now get on all 4s. I have no idea. And she dresses him up in the silk pajamas and a gold collar. He lays on my side of the bed, on my pillow next to my wife, snoring and farting. Hey, I've been doing that for the last 30 years. I think I've just been replaced. I'm afraid to kick him out of the bed. I may get bitten, scratched, and growled at by my wife. And I don't know how, but I got the only dog with restless leg syndrome. I haven't slept in 3 weeks, constantly getting kicked and jabbed. My wife said, how do you know it was the dog? And one final thing, she put the dog on the science diet. Me, she put on the science fiction diet. Served me canned spaghetti and meatballs. You know those glow-in-the-dark sauce with the limp noodles?
Yeah.
All I know, in 30 years of marriage, I never served my wife once a limp noodle.
Hello.
Hello.
Thank you, that's my time. My name is, I think, Bruce Lipsky.
Yes, it is Bruce Lipsky. And that's not to be confused with Bruce Lipsky.
Hello.
Because he's not,
Mr. Lipsky.
not that is what I'm saying. That's what I'm
Wow.
saying, people.
Big call.
But he's got the set for Space Invaders from Mars on the background there. One of the old serials from Republic Studios. Hey, that means a lot to everybody, huh? That's current, right?
That was really George.
Edison lost the current wars. That's how old that reference is. At any rate, we're going to have a fun show tonight. And we've already started. He jump-started. I forgot to tell anybody who's new that we do 5-minute sets. I have this cheap-ass kitchen timer that I use that beeps at 4 minutes. You got a minute to wrap up after that. Sometimes I interrupt people just for the fuck of it because I'm capricious. I guess that's it, right? That's the main thing.
Sometimes the beeping is just your pacemaker.
Oh, yes, that's my pacemaker. Because I'm old is what he's saying, for those of you who were, a little slow on the uptake.
Old men using Zoom.
Dun, dun, dun. Is that what this is? Jeez,
That's us, buddy. That's us. We're old men.
I thought it was on the radio.
Right.
All right, be that as it may, our next performer is coming back after having been here before. That's how it happens usually. They'll come and then they'll come back. As I said, valedictorian of my introduction class. I know you're going to love her. Please welcome Michelle Malazaki.
Yay! Thank you. Oh my gosh, you were able to say my name. I'm so happy because I went to some venue and I was just keep on going back and they are like, oh, I can't say your name. It's so hard. I can't say it. I'm like, okay, this is how you say it. MaliZaki. And they're like, you can't say that. But that's how you say it. And the guy still call me Malinsky, like Lipsky. You know what ski means in Japanese?
No.
Like, do you know what dib means in Japanese? Fatty. So Mr. Debsky means I like fatties. Oh, did I say something I'm not supposed to tell you? But hey, I said it already. I can't take it back. Just holding the microphone, it's not connected to anything, but it just makes me feel a little bit more comfortable to hold something close to my mouth. I'll put it away. Okay. I didn't see every time I go to open mic, I learn new things. I didn't know Alf was not a documentary. I watch a lot of American sitcoms, and that's why I came to America to become a housewife. So easy to be a housewife in America. All you have to do is move the nose. Everything gets done. I'm still practicing, but it's still not working. So when I first came to visit America, I went to Missouri, and people ask me, is your dad a samurai? But then I asked them, is your dad a carpenter? I thought all the white dads are carpenters, like Laura Ingalls on Little House on Prairie. Jesus Christ. And then it was like many years ago, but one of the boys in Missouri asked me, oh, I saw this thing on a car that I've never seen before. It's like, I don't know, I've never seen it before. I'm like, wow, what is that? And the guy said, oh, it's called 8-track. You don't have that in Japan, do you? I'm like, no, I've never seen it. I've only seen CDs. I don't know, that was a long time ago. I'm Gen X, and my husband is a boomer. And because we started late, my son is a Zoomer, and my daughter is Gen Alpha. But according to the paper, Gen Alpha's parents are millennials. So I'm a millennial too. I completed the deck. Wow. I'm a gifted musician on my instrument.
Yeah.
Musical ruler. It's a real thing there, musical ruler. What? I got it at TJ Maxx. And let me play this for you. Okay. See, this is a great instrument for somebody like me who's married to a guy who went to Catholic school. If he does something I don't like, I just have to go. I get everything done. I'm not a Catholic, but I'm married to Catholic because I'm smart. I can get divorced, but he can't. I'm set for life. I'm learning Italian, and I learned that they describe people like me, mozzarella stick, like no curve, very hot in a wrong way, and cheesy. I went to the hospital yesterday, but there's nothing wrong with me. I just wanted to have somebody touch me. And my health insurance pay for my physical. It feels like it's been 5 minutes. Is it 5 minutes?
It has been just about exactly 5
Okay,
minutes.
thank you so much. Thank you. Yay.
Yay. Michelle Malazaki.
Thank you.
And every once in a while, we put somebody on stage that needs to work a few things out. Michelle, thank you for being here.
Thank you.
You were funny as hell. As hell! Okay, so our next performer, also a returnee who's been away for a little while, but is coming back. And we discussed before the show started what part of the upstate New York area he lived in. And he may talk about that, he may not. I don't know. I don't write his jokes for him. But I want a big round of applause. We're small but mighty tonight. Frank Moshman. Frank Moshman, ladies and gentlemen.
Great, thank you. So during the day, I'm an IT person. My title is software tester. There are some people who do cybersecurity work. There's actually a title called penetration tester.
Oh, yeah.
Hello.
I'm not making that up. In fact, I went online and I couldn't believe there's 1,000 openings. Now, I'd be very happy to change IT jobs for horizontal movement. I would certainly consider an entry-level position.
Hello.
In fact, I might even take an unpaid internship. Now, when you see job listings, for penetration testers, some of the things may have a slightly different meaning. For example, salary based on experience. No dress code. All work is hands-on. Pay for performance. Potential for growth. Latecomers need not apply. Have you heard of a place called Intercourse, Pennsylvania?
Oh, yeah.
Hello.
Intercourse happens to be 10 miles from Blue Ball, Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
You're almost there.
1 hour from Virginville, Pennsylvania. 4 hours from Climax, Pennsylvania. In fact, on the Upper West Side of Manhattan, Linda and I know people who live on the intersection of Seaman and Cumming. Now, they were considering what the name Intercourse. What were they considering? Coitus, Pennsylvania? Copulate, Pennsylvania? Anyway, I like to make hotel reservation in advance, and sometimes I'll call it a Best Western 800 number. Does sound okay? I call it a Best Western. Jackie picks up. She has a nice voice. Hi, Jackie. My name is Frank Moshman. What's your rate and availability for Denver the night of June 2nd? That's okay, right? Suppose I call back. Jackie picks up with the sexy voice. Hi, Jackie. My name is Frank Moshman. What's your rate and availability for Intercourse the night of June 2nd? In fact, I just submitted my taxes. I got in trouble with the IRS. I actually wrote on my taxes. I have 3 dependents: dark chocolate, strawberry daiquiris, and Viagra. So let's see. Last August, Linda and I celebrated our 22-year anniversary. Thank you. I thought I'd get a standing I thought I'd get a standing ovulation. Now, I can't say I'm an expert in this area, but I understand the number one cause of divorce is marriage. I don't know how Linda feels about this, but I still carry around a photo of my ex. I don't know. What do you think? Now, Linda and I get along well. It's a very funny way of keeping me in line. She goes, Frank, if you give me a hard time, I won't give you a hard time. And before I met Linda, I've had hundreds of psychotic ex-girlfriends. And things actually worked out with one of them. Then it ended kind of abruptly. I gave her a ring, and she gave me the finger. And before I met Linda, I did terrible with pickup lines. I said to women, I'm a famous chess player. She goes, really? Yes. I'm looking to meet a woman to make some moves on. Heck, at my age, I do far better at chess than I do with women. It's easy to get mated. And I with a coronavirus joke. I know we've all been asked to take special precautions because of the coronavirus. I think that maybe I'm taking it a little bit too far. When I go outside, not only do I wear a mask, but I'll wear goggles, spacesuit, and a condom. Thank you very much.
It pays to plan, right, Frank? Because you never know. You just never know. Chuck taught me that condom lesson because he's always looking out for that certain special anybody.
What are condoms?
What'd you say? What are
What are
condoms?
condoms?
Aren't those like co-ops, but a little different?
Condoms are the reason you didn't die in the 80s.
Oh,
Very true.
oh,
Ouch. Be that as it may, ladies and gentlemen, that was, then never mind. They're like masks for your wiener. Dani Riedel coming in with the heat. She hasn't even performed yet. She's already got an above average joke
a
on
little
the
chin
board.
music.
On the board, and don't think I don't keep track, everybody.
You do have a
So,
scoreboard.
We've got a couple of people who have confused me. They're going to come up in seriatim. And the first one, her ID says that she's in Chicago, but apparently she's not.
I am.
Pardon me?
I am in Chicago.
You are in Chicago.
Yeah, where are you?
Oh, Josh, I'm in Parker, which is in Colorado. And
Yeah.
and Josh is in Atlanta.
Yeah,
Oh,
everything's okay.
yeah, sure it is. Yeah, it is. That's how I felt with my ex. It's like, it was good. No, it was good.
Does this count against Laura's time? This lovely
No, this
cat?
doesn't count against your time. I haven't even pushed the
Okay, good.
button yet. I haven't even
Good,
pushed the
good.
button. I haven't even pushed the button yet, for Christ's sake. I'm just saying, I'm glad things are good. Okay, I'm glad things are good.
We'll
Wow.
talk later.
And, like when just before I broke up with my girlfriend, before I met the woman that I married, a traveling salesman was giving her mouth-to-mouth resuscitation when I came home one night after law school, and it was good because he saved her life and me a lot of years of misery. So it all worked out. I'm just, we're not even talking about me now, and I don't know why you drag me into this every week. You bastards on this show drag me into these personal revelations that I don't want to give. I don't want to give them. I'm a very private person. But somehow you just suck it out of me. You suck it out of me. All right, never mind. This is a very funny person who's coming on the stage now,
Thank God.
virtually. Oh, that is hilarious. That really. And man, imagine how much pain I'd be in right now if I gave a shit what you thought. Our next performer, however, is not going to have that problem because she's funnier in her own right. RIGHT, for those of you who are scoring. Please welcome Laura Hugg. Now I'm pushing the button, okay? Ned.
Okay.
All right.
So it's Passover, and I before the pandemic, I worked side job as a caterer, and I would always work for this Jewish family at Passover time, helping them serve their family party. I'm not from a religious family. I'm not from a big family. So I really liked this job in particular because all of their kids and their grandkids would come, and a lot of different guests. And then they would have the Passover ceremony before dinner. And, there were prayers and people were reciting things and little plays, or they call them skits. And then the kids would go around and search for the hidden matzah, and then grandpa would give them money. And it was just the afikomen. And it was really, really fun. And some of it they would do in Hebrew and some they would do in English. So I didn't catch everything, but I liked all of it. but there was one prayer that the father would always say, and he usually said it in English, and it was really special. Every time he would start the Passover by saying, "For the love of God, will all of you just sit down already and get this thing started? You're going to give me a heart attack. Shut up already." So it was really beautiful. I don't know how it translates in Hebrew, but if you do know, feel free to put it in the chat. So I'm sad that I didn't get to celebrate them this year. I am not using my degree. Can't use what you don't have. I did have an extra year of high school, and I'm pretty sure I'm not using that either. I can tell you that the one course of education I completed is, I'm a certified improviser here in Chicago. I went through the beginning level and conservatory program of improv comedy at Second City. So, and I was talking about this with another comic, and they said, "Do you improvise anymore?" And I said, only like, not really, only in a pinch, like an improv emergency. And then I realized I've never actually been called to an improv emergency. I've never been at some sort of public place like a restaurant and had somebody collapse and have someone else yell out, "Quick! Is there anybody here that could advance this scene?" I've never been able to run over and use my skills like, "All right, here's what I need. I need a location that fits in this restaurant and a relationship like a doctor and a nurse." But what I am saying, though, is that if need be, I am a first yes-ander. So.
Does that mean you get your shot earlier?
Yeah, that's how I got it. That's how I got it.
Essential.
What I was doing in high school was, I was taking down the man by putting up my mohawk. I was a punk rocker, in school. That's what I focused on. Yeah, I was a punk rocker. I can say that because I'm not anymore, because when you are, you're not allowed to say it because that's poser fucking bullshit and people should just fucking know. But yeah. I did. My motto when I was young was drink, fight, fuck, taken from a Gigi Allen song. And now it's live, laugh, love. And I paid for it at the home goods department at Marshall's. There's a slight chip in my motto, but you can't see it from the mantle. So I wasn't really, to be honest, for me, it was more of a fashion decision to be a punk, because when I went out as a punk, it just made a lot of sense. Because when I went out, I was always going to come home with, my makeup smeared around my eyes, my tights ripped, and half my head shaved anyway. So I was like, let's just cut out the middleman, but I do feel some guilt now. I do try to give back now. I go around sometimes when I'm on a walk and I pick up litter, and I try to do that, trying to make up for all the damage I did to the environment when I was putting up my mohawk in the public, in the Weston bathroom on Fountain Square in Cincinnati. But I also do that not just to give back, but also because I pick up litter because I have court mandated community service in my blood. Really, if my family had a crest, it should be a neon vest with two of those garbage sticks and maybe an ankle monitor at the bottom, flanked by a fleur-de-lis, just for the fancy members of our family that don't say ain't. So, all right, that's all I'm going to do. Thanks very much.
Yay.
That's great. That's great. Love Dani. Love everybody here. Love Paula. Dani just put something in the chat that I thought was hilarious. And picked up on Laura's thing. I couldn't help noticing how incredibly blue Laura's eyes are. And my guess is that's a whole sobriety thing, right? Because they were probably red before, basically.
Yeah, well, that actually brings out the blue even more. But
does it really? Oh yeah.
Yeah, you can't have everything.
It really looks like, it almost looks like your eyes are Christmas ornaments.
That I was going for.
How sad that you had to stop drinking. But at any rate, our next performer is in Atlanta, but everything's fine. It's fine. It's fine. It's a commuter relationship in a pandemic when you're not allowed to commute, but it's fine. There's probably nothing wrong at all. No, it's perfectly fine. And he's very funny. He understands the political world like nobody else, and makes it funny in a way that I envy. And I'm a very small, petty man, so not that it takes much, but I envy it in a big way. At any rate, please welcome Josh DiDonato.
Thank you. Yes, my busybody Langworthy.
No,
Yeah.
I'm on your side.
I bet you are. I'm. Everything is fine. You know, I just got my first shot of the vaccine today, so very, very excited. You know, in a few weeks I'll get the second shot, and I tell you what, I can't wait to get back to worrying about getting cancer. You know, get our priorities straight again, huh? All right. Yeah, Donald Trump is apparently saying that he's going to start a social network platform, which I don't know if I love his chances, because to start a whole new social media platform, it takes hard work and competence, which I don't find him to be real long on. I think, the point is, he just wants to, bilk the suckers. And I think there's a way easier way that he could do that. You just get an OnlyFans account, and just, I'm sure there's 20 million people who would fork over $100 a month, and just instead of dick pics, just, post that hot hate. And I think that'd be an easier call for him. It is weird being a white person who wants to do something about white supremacy, which is not new. It's been with us since before the founding of this country, but it's gotten so that, we need to do more about white supremacy. They just picked up more leaders of the Proud Boys for their part in planning the January 6th attack. And the Proud Boys are a hate group, if you're not familiar. And, something that white supremacists, a phrase they'll use to kind of clean up what they're about is they'll talk about white pride, And I don't know, I've just decided I can't be on the sidelines anymore and I have to get involved. So I've decided that I'm starting the white shame movement. That to counteract the Proud Boys, I'm starting a love group, and we're calling ourselves the Ashamed Lads. Working on the GoFundMe now. There's a lot to answer for. White people, we've got a lot of stuff, that we need to address. Slavery, Dave Matthews Band. There's been a lot of atrocity over the years. I've been thinking about what the difference is between getting tattooed and getting Me Too'd. You can get rid of a tattoo. I think Me Too's seem to be pretty permanent. Okay, yeah. It kind of reminds me of a quote. It's actually often misquoted, but it was George Washington when he cut down a cherry tree, who said, "I like big butts, and I cannot lie." All right. You know, before I go, I just want to mention something. You know, a lot of comics, new and veteran, will make jokes about the size of their penis, you know, and which, you know, it's fine. It's free country. Do whatever you want. You know, they'll either say that it's small or imply that it's big. And, you know, for me, as an audience member, I just want to say I don't need to hear jokes like that anymore. You know, that you can do whatever you want, but, you know, I think I'm just jealous, you know, because I can't write a joke like that because I don't know my real size. I haven't lost my baby penis yet, and so when I do, and then my real one comes in, then, you know, then we'll know more. But
Till then.
You guys are being really mean right now.
Oh my gosh.
So I guess he's gone off to be fine because everything's fine. You know, I just want to be remembered as the guy who did the most with what he had. That's all. You know, size is just a construct, like gender.
Or gravity.
The fact that it's measurable in the real world, no. You know, that's just the man trying to keep you down, so to speak. Oh my God, this show took a turn early. You know, I feel responsible. Chuck, I feel responsible. I took us down an ugly road from the very beginning.
What did you do?
I don't know what I did.
We had a nice little show.
No, we had a nice little thing going here, and I blew it. I ruined it. And somebody left. I don't know who it was, but I guess they couldn't take all of the references.
Frivolity.
Right.
Yeah, but it's all right. It's fine. It's fine. It's good. Everything's fine. So next up, every once in a while, you meet a comic and you just hit it off right away, and you just know this guy's going to be great, and he's going to go places in show business, and you just feel privileged that you get a chance to work with him from time to time. And that guy couldn't make it tonight. So I thought while we were waiting,
this is an outrage.
He put on Ned Rice.
Oh, boy.
Round of applause, you knucklehead.
Oh boy. You know, that's fine. Mike, you know, we kid around, Mike. I've known Mike Langworthy for, well, I don't know, well over 20 years. And we've been friends for like maybe 4. So he's one of those people that makes it special just by not showing up. So thanks, Mike. That was lovely.
You're welcome.
Welcome, everybody. It's as you know, it's March Madness now, or as I call it, the annual 4-week assault on my masculinity. I don't know anything about. I love sports. I don't know anything about college basketball. I don't even like professional basketball. And college basketball is like pro basketball, only it's not as good and there's nothing at stake. So I don't get the point of any of this. And my brother's really into it. He's like, Ned, NC State and Gazanga, what do you think? And I'm like, what's a Gazanga? Why do they have a team? Like, why are you asking? Ned, I want you to look at my brackets. I'm like, you know what, James? I might as well just look at your chest x-ray. That would be equally fruitful. That's how much I know about this shit, okay? Don't show me your brackets. Just find something else to do. So that's underway, and I'm glad to hear that you're all on the same boat with me. It's also Easter week. This is the only week, Easter is the only time of year that I send out a big shout out to my peeps. Okay, not candy lovers, that's fine, that's okay. Easter Sunday is a big day. I spend the day driving around, visiting my elderly, crabby, cranky relatives. I call it the Stations of the Cross. and it's an annual tradition. Wow, nothing. Okay. This too will pass. It's fine. Looking forward to Easter itself. My girlfriend wants to go to church. That's fine. But there's this church she really likes. It's this gigantic church. And I'm like, this is a mega church. She goes, no, it's not. I go, honey, if you go to church and the congregation is batting around a giant beach ball during this, that's a mega church. It's big. It's a very big. No. I said, honey, if you go to church and the opening act is White Snake, that is a mega church. That's a big, that is a large. If during the concert, we had our seats were so bad from where we were sitting, the consecration was just a rumor. That's how large. That'll give you a layman's sense of how big this place was.
You were far away, is what you're saying.
I'll say that's the least of it. So enough about that. It's funny. I come from a very religious family. Actually, Ned is not my real name. That's a stage name. My parents wanted us all to have biblical names, and by the time they got around to me, the only one left was Judas. So that's my actual name, and it's not a great name to have, especially during job interviews. So Judas, we're gonna have to run a security check. Yeah, if you know what I'm saying. How much does it pay? It pays 30 pieces of silver a week. You probably get that. I'm just teasing, Judas. I'm just teasing. But it could have been worse. Ask my twin sisters, Sodom and Gomorrah. They didn't like their names either. So okay, not Bible readers. That's good. That's fine, because I'm not either. I actually, if I had twin daughters, I would name them Alexa and Siri, and just watch the fun.
Hello.
Alexa, Siri, come get daddy. It would be nonstop laughs. You have two kids with eye twitches at like age 3. That would be so great. What else is in the news? I hate my cell phone because it's digital, and digital objects are evil. They all hate me. Computers, remote control devices, iPads, anything like this is evil, and that's just a fact. But what I really hate about my cell phone is you can't slam it down in somebody's ear. When I was growing up, you could say, you know what, I got a better idea. Why don't you go fuck yourself? Slam. And it was really loud. Now I'm like, I got a better idea. Why don't you go fuck yourself? Okay, hold on. Wait, what's my password? I'll be right. Hold on. So it's not as effective. I find it to be less effective. And so that's my thoughts on that. I'd like to thank you all for keeping the noise down during my set. It helps me remember the lines. That absolute funereal silence is key to my magic, what I do on stage. So thanks for that. And on this, the last night of my show business career, I want to thank the little people. You know who you are. You're out there. And I guess that's all I have for tonight. Thank you. Thanks for listening.
Thank you. Wow. It's so quaint that he thinks this is the last night instead of years ago. But be that as it may, here's the thing. Ned and I really go back a long ways, and we have known each other for 20 years, and we have been friends for 4, separated by 6, 8 years at a time.
Yep.
And then I say something like what I said in introducing him tonight, and it's over for another 4 years. But neither here nor there. You're just gonna have to take my word on it. But he's a really funny guy.
Honestly, he is.
There's other examples of him being funny, I swear.
I've read some of his jokes. He used to write for some of the mainstream television shows.
Some of the big shots, yeah.
Yeah, he was a big shot on pardon the interruption. No, what was it again? The one with Bill Maher?
Ernie Kovacs.
Yes, Ernie Kovacs, right. He was the first guy that took a picture of the severed head when he had the accident. But let's not get into that. I do these references that are so obscure. Why? Why do I do this?
So good.
Just showing off. Yep. Hey, look, I had no life at all as a child.
It's about you.
I did nothing but sit in a library and read show business biographies.
Mm-mm. Fun stuff.
Wish you were me, anybody? All right. Just about everybody, I would imagine.
I wish I was
Anyway,
you.
here's the thing.
I wish I was you. Because today I went to the park and encountered a bit. And now that I have the two of you, expert geniuses, comedy, life, and such, I asked the world to present me with some material. As soon as the pandemic is over, I should be able to return to playing Vegas. So big deal. And I got to put together a set. And I realized a lot of my pre-COVID stuff is gone. You know, so when I was at the park today, I had an observation that I'm the man. Like, men can be called the man as strangers, like at the grocery store or at a park or anywhere where there might be parents who have small children. They're like, today my basketball went away from me, and a little boy was like, he passed me the ball, and his mom was like, give it to the man. And I was like, I'm the man. I get it. And then I realized, like right then, that women are never give it to the woman. It's always something far more judgmental if it's said by a mother. Like, I just couldn't picture a mother not saying to their child, like, give the ball back to the woman. I'm like, that doesn't get said. So it just everything I know about, you know, ladies that I've learned through comedy clubs and my experience as a gay male tells me women be bitches sometimes. And so that's where I'm at in the bit. I tried to isolate that if it's a straight male to a female, then there's some flirting. If it's a gay male to a female, then there's a respect for gender differences and maybe a compliment of an outfit. If it's a lesbian woman to a straight woman, then there's better flirting. And then straight woman to straight woman is just where I was. My notes are snide judgments. I don't know where the jokes are. Like,
I think if it's a lesbian to a straight woman, you say, honey, give the ball back to Karen.
Damn.
It's also give the ball. No, just fucking keep the ball.
Yeah, that's another take.
Fucking keep the ball, man.
Yeah.
When it's a lesbian talking to the other one, fucking keep the ball.
Also, for old timers
Fuck
like
the
me,
patriarchy.
give the ball back to the nice lady. How do I know she's nice? She could be a monster. I mean, nice lady, kind of patriarchal.
So this played out right in front of me because there was, as I sat on the bench, there was a group of guys playing frisbee rugby or some version of that. And I was trying to figure out if it was a gay group because just by the time of day and that it was all guys and the amount of shirts off this early in the season. As far as eye candy goes, it was more candy than eye. Shirts versus folding skins. And for the comedians who are on in a bit, I'm almost done.
No, it's fine.
Right, I didn't mind in the middle of my
No, it's
show.
a seminar. It's
you know,
it's a
I was
seminar.
like, I have the two of them. I'm going to ask the questions, and that's how my set is going to go today. And then the only other joke I wrote was playing basketball and missed a rebound. My ball goes rolling like the Biden economy. Not too fast, but still out of reach for me.
And you were saying little help.
You need to lean into the unathletic stuff.
Right. And then I have a story that so when you go looking for comedy, sometimes it happens. So as I'm sitting at the bench, a woman comes up and asks if they could sit with me. And essentially she's just politely asking, could a much older man, her friend in his 80s, sit at the park bench? And in COVID politeness, of course, I gave up the bench and cleared the seat. They were going to sit with me, but you know, like Guy turns out to be old band leader from town, taught at the local high school, and he says, finds out, or I mentioned where I teach comedy, so we talk teaching, but he goes, I'm going to tell you a joke. And so immediately I go, well, this is getting said on open mic tonight. And so then he coached me how to tell me the joke. So this is one of you has to ask, hey, I heard you are the world's greatest Polish actor. That's your first line. That's your first line. Then there's one more line, Mike. Why are you the world's greatest Polish actor? So first line, heard you were. So, I'll give you the answer each time.
Okay. Chuck.
Mike.
I hear that you're the world's greatest Polish actor.
Oh, yes. That's embarrassing. I don't bring it up often, but I am, in fact, the world's greatest Polish actor.
Why are you the world's
timing?
Okay. We're gonna do that again.
Go ahead, Ned, but I swear that's the joke he told me.
We're gonna run that again.
Yeah, I think Ned's going to have a tip for you in the chat.
Right. I'm really done. Thanks for letting me try material. Now back to Mike Langworthy.
I met a very successful man in show business once named Sheldon Leonard. Some people know who he is. A lot of people don't. Incredibly famous in his day, especially as a producer. And
so you're saying
he was at a golf driving range just hanging out. I was there, and I said, "You're Sheldon Leonard. I worshipped you for years." And he responds with, "An agent's walking down the street. He steps in some dog shit. He looks down and he says, 'Oh my God, I'm melting.'" 89 years old at the time.
Wow. Still got it.
Okay. Anyway, our next performer has been very patient, and we love her here. She's been on this show many times, and I hope will be on the show many more. Please welcome Paula Mattocks.
Paula. Hello. Well, you know what I like to do in the beginning, Mike? I like to give you the good clap, you know, the kind you can tell your mom about to thank you for hosting the mic. Yeah. I'm not going to give it to Chuck because he gets into his own kind of fun. You know what I mean? I'm just going to let that boy roam free. Okay, what do you want?
Good idea.
I adore you guys, but thank you. I can't thank the neighbor for the internet anymore because I think he found out and I think he cut me off. Yeah. So now I'm stealing from the other neighbor. He's got better bandwidth, you know? Oh, that right there is turning trauma into treasure, y'all. I don't enjoy borrowing the neighbor from the people next door, or the neighbor from the people next door. I accidentally locked myself up a long time ago on purpose because I wanted to get married and have kids. And man, has it just changed all my fucking plans. Can I tell you? Like, yeah, you can't see any bars, but I'm locked up just as fucking tight. Let me tell you. It's all right. It'll be fine. The good thing about that is the kids weren't bastards. So, hey, I got that right. You know, that shit's kind of hard when you're young. You don't know which decisions are going to last a lifetime. You know, like, yeah, it's all good. It's all good. And all my kids have the same dad. So I think that's pretty cool. You know, yeah. None of my sisters could do that. So score one for me. Yeah. Who didn't know? Who knew that doesn't go away? Like sibling rivalry, I thought that would like die out over time. Nope. It's just like the hurt, man. It keeps coming back. Any fucking chance it gets. So bad. So bad. Speaking of STDs, I have found out why they don't put pregnancy on the list of STDs, y'all. Yeah. It's so that Mother Nature can find fools faster. Yeah. You know, I read Origin of the Species, and I wish he would have told me that it doesn't hurt when you get naturally selected, for one, right? And for two, I wish he would have told me it's hard watching dumb fucks be naturally selected. You know, it's kind of weird. Yeah, the things you learn, you know. Yeah, so pandemic. It's been stressful. So I'm deciding I'm gonna court a new addiction. I'm gonna pick the addiction this time. Yeah. Because the last time I let one sneak up on me, it was donuts, y'all. It is not cool to be addicted to donuts, even though I'm fat and it's a cliche. It's really not. Like, really not. And in my defense, in this podunk town I live in, the donut shop never fucking closes. And that's me, right?
Yeah.
Because at least a crack house closes at sunup.
That's so cool.
It's just fucking, there's no rehab for this shit. So you have to realize how fucked up you are and then fix it. That hurts. Who's gonna ask for fucking help? Like, yo, man, I was down at fucking donut shop, man. I got this fucking glaze, like, combo glaze, you know what I mean? It's not fucking cool. Not fucking, at least I'm role modeling better behavior for my children. Like, don't do what mommy done did, you know what I mean? So bad. Yeah, half of them were like past where I was when I got married and had kids, so I really can't tell them shit. Like, can't tell them nothing. Yeah. I also chose not to spank my kids. Loud and proud, came out the closet. Not gonna spank them. It's so bad. So bad, you guys. My dad will come up to me every so often. He says, well, since you don't spank, it's gonna take a really long time to raise the dumb out of those kids. Right, honey? Why you try to say that? He's on, you think cleaning your room was bad, honey? I'm like, Dad, stop! I gotta go home and put a smile on the face, you know what I mean? Yeah, it's been fun. I'm not spanking them, so I have to do sneaky stuff like trick them, trap them, tape them. Videotape, not packaging tape, though. It's fucking tempting, you know what I mean? To get content for that, like, that'll get me a lot of content and a time in the clink, I'm sure. Like, that's too easy to be loud, like, too fucking easy. But real quick, I had a kid a few years ago. He had some weed on him, and mommy didn't smoke weed because she didn't want to fuck him up. And I found out he's got weed. I can't get it off of him. Nothing works. I had his peers put pressure on him. Nothing fucking works. And then I faked a phone call from the vice principal of the school. Yeah. I told him that the K9 unit was coming in the morning because he had got that weed from the police chief's son. Small town living, man. It comes in handy, let me tell you. Yeah. He's like, Mommy, what are we gonna do? I said, babe, I don't know if you know this, but every kid gets a one where your mom will save your tail. Yours came early. It's not my fault, but I help you. She's like, oh. So he runs away and he comes back and he's got this box, and the box is dirty, dusty looking. And it hits me. That little fucker buried it. Who knew he was smart enough to bury shit, you guys? So how can I be mad? You know what I mean? Yeah, so I blessed his sins and I smoked that shit to my head when I went to bed that night and had a massive panic attack. Yeah. Yeah. Because that's parenting. You think you're getting the kids, you're not. You're getting yourself. So don't do it. Take your birth control. Stay out of the parenthood. Thank you very much, Mike.
Yeah.
Chuck, everybody. You're great.
Yeah.
Thanks, Paula.
Thank you.
Thank you, Paula. Sometimes you don't just laugh, you learn on this show. And Paula, she made us laugh and learn.
I learned to laugh.
There you go, buddy.
Yeah. Oh, wait.
No, it's something you have to learn over again after you've spent years as a comedy writer, because your entire life is going, oh, that's funny. Anyway, thank you again, Paula. You're lovely, and you were very funny tonight.
Thank you.
Our next performer was very, very generous with her time, and she sprinted over here from another mic and spent some time being very patient and waiting, and I'm going to bring her right on. No, it's not Jessica Misra. It's Dani Riedel. Dani Riedel, ladies and gentlemen.
Yay.
Thank you very much. And I need to say that Paula is absolutely right. Like, sugar is actually addictive. Like drugs are addictive in your freaking brain. And it's it's a problem for me because I am hypoglycemic. So it's a big problem. Because let me tell you, Sugar is crazy addictive, like meth level addictive. And my mother-in-law is It's Walter White. Dangerous situation. Other than that, my marriage is pretty healthy, which I realize is bad for my image as a comedian. So I usually just refer to my husband as my first husband. So a few minutes ago, and I need to apologize to all of you for not laughing more loudly tonight, because my first husband came up to the attic, which is where I do comedy now. And as you will notice at some point when I turn to the side tonight, I am in fact Jewish. And there is, yes, something uniquely fucked up about that, I'm aware. But my first husband came upstairs and requested that I laugh more softly because he's in a meeting. He works remotely with people on, other countries with different time zones. And so, it's a thing. So normally it's the other way around. Like I'll be trying to like get attention and he'll be like, I'm working. And he's all nice about it. He comes up tonight, tells me to laugh more quietly. And I'm like, I'm working. Yeah. So it's Passover, you guys. It's Passover. I think Passover is way cooler than Easter. Mostly because it's mine, but also like Passover is really cool on its own. And like, we didn't have to borrow any like bunny and egg traditions from pagans to make it fun for people. Passover is just cool. It's the story of our emancipation from Egypt in 1440 BC, which if you don't know is basically like the Bible's equivalent of 2020. And that's the reason I think that the Jews in Egypt during Exodus were probably amazing comedians. The material from the strife. I can just imagine my ancestors just getting them, just being like, you guys, what's the deal with these plagues? Which is how I imagine that all my ancestors talked, of course. But seriously, you guys, Pharaoh said that, the plagues would be over by Easter. But then Moses turned the river to blood and he called it fake news. Talk about denial. But what are we going to have to do to get this guy to let us go? Kill his firstborn? Yeah. Even then, Pharaoh is such a schmuck. I'm sure he would let us go, change his mind in like 10 minutes. And of course, since we're the chosen people, he'd come after us and we'd be in some awkward situation, like, I don't know, in the middle of the Red Sea, in the hot sun, with all our bread dough turning to crackers. Moses is in the audience like, dude, stop giving God ideas. Yeah, I don't have a Jewish last name because I did marry a German man, which I had to because after I told my parents that I wasn't going to law school, they were still alive. But, no, my family, my Jewish family, they're mostly great. They came over to this country from the old country, which was pick one, and in the early 1900s, while Hitler was still busy getting rejected from art school. So I'm the first comedian in my family, but they had good timing. Me, not so much. I quit drinking during the Trump administration. Jeez. A rough year, everybody. Oh my God. But you know what? Let's stick together. Let's be good humans to each other and do nice things for each other.
Yeah.
I, for example, sent Melania Trump a vibrator, and I just need to mention one other thing because I really, really hate to perpetuate negative Jewish stereotypes, but one, I don't think there's any such thing as Karens. I think it's just a bunch of shiksa-bitches appropriating my culture. And then there's the stereotype that we're bad at sports. Yeah, the space laser was supposed to hit Mar-a-Lago. I'm Dani Riedel. Happy Passover. Have a great night.
Yeah.
Dani Riedel, ladies and gentlemen. I will forego the Greece high school reference. Okay. I want to do some announcements real quick, and then I'm going to bring up our next performer and headliner for this evening, as it turns out. Unless I decide to do a couple of jokes at the end, then why wouldn't I? You know, here's a big thing. Magic Moments is an organization. Unfortunately, the pandemic has really hurt a lot of live performing, and this is such a great organization. I help to write a musical every year with this organization, which is a special needs friendly live theater group, and they put on a full length review. All of the music is from ASCAP and BMI, so you can be assured if you go to this thing that the melodies of every song will be wonderful, and the lyrics are repurposed to help the story of the show. We live in Denver because my daughter is developmentally disabled and also a huge musical theater fan, and she gets to perform in these shows, which are large cast, between 150 and 200 people in the cast. They range in age from 4 to 80. And somehow the people who put the shows on find a meaningful way to use everybody in the show, no matter how developmentally disabled they may be or how typically developing they may be. It's really a remarkable thing to see. In the short run, if you can go on magicmomentsinc.org and donate some money to them, everybody will be greatly appreciative. In the long run, if you keep coming to these mics, I'll be telling you when we start doing the next show. This was supposed to be performance week for this year, and it didn't happen because of the pandemic. I'm bummed, but it's a great thing. Okay, next.
The show's ready to go though, right? The last one you wrote that closed.
Yeah, the show, we had to cancel the last one a week before opening.
Right, and so it's still in box.
Completely done and fully rehearsed. But there, you know.
Here's the way things work. We raise money for Elevating Connections, which is a group that provides connecting events for youth who are separated from their siblings by foster care. And one of the things they'd love to do is take their youth to see Mike Langworthy's production at Magic Moments. So isn't that fun? That's what we did during the pandemic. We just, you know, we're saintly.
Yeah.
Mike, we're generally just fucking amazingly good people. And
it's sometimes I feel bad for other people.
Yeah, you know,
Not us.
there's a lot of good people out there, but they just don't do it as good as we do.
No, they're not.
So, and especially
Everybody on this show is really good. They're just not quite as good.
They're trying, but that's why they're here. So regardless, we've had fun tonight making people laugh, and it's great to take a break and just highlight that we do like to spotlight a few great charities, and Elevating Connections does some cool things, and they're available at elevatingconnections.org. We donate 10% of our virtual event fees, which just booked a private gig less than half hour ago. So, you know, I'm producing shows and I'm booking gigs like a motherfucker, ladies and gentlemen. And so we'll turn you back to the Mike Langworthy Theater live at the Colorado Comedy Show's Virtual Event Center. And we'll bring you back to Mike Langworthy. And I believe our final performer for the evening is it time for our headliner.
Final performer for the evening, who has just grown by leaps and bounds since he first started coming here. He's the best thing to come out of Toledo since, well, ever, to be honest with you. Good has ever come out of I used to say that you lost 50 IQ points as soon as you crossed the state line from Michigan to Ohio. And that's because Toledo is right on the other side of the state line. However, this guy puts a lie to the whole thing, and you guys are going to love him. His name is Jeffery Burden II. I don't know why, but he'll tell you. I won't.
Woohoo!
Thank you. Thank you so
Yeah.
much. Thank you, Mike. I appreciate that. Give it up for Mike, everybody, the host. And we really appreciate the producer, Chuck, too. Thank you, Chuck, as well. The best thing ever out of Toledo. Wow. Wow. Let me put my hands behind my back. I'm going to interlock my arms. All right. Let me calm down. But the best thing ever, Jamie Farr, if you're watching right now, he's probably going, what the hell, Mike? I was on MASH. What the hell? Okay. That was an award-winning show, Mike. Did you write for that? Okay, no. All right, let me bring it down. Okay, my wife says I'm so loud. God, she is right. I stage voice. Okay, let me relax. Bring it all back together. I talk about my father, that the fact that he left me when I was 3. I know some of you are going, yeah, Jeffrey, we've heard it all before. Mike, come on. No, I'm kidding. But the truth is we do have a very active dialogue. My father and I, we do. He talks to me. I give him the finger. No, I'm kidding. I don't do that. You guys. But, I talk about how he hit me when I was a little boy. But you know what? What I haven't talked about is he told me a story when he was a little boy. He went to church with his mom, but he didn't want to go into church, Sunday school, whatnot, right? And his mom caught him at the park and smacked the shit out of him. And where I'm going with all of this is I want to be understanding and empathize and also know that I'm so glad I didn't get caught ditching church by my grandmother. Who knows what would have happened, everybody? Who knows? All right. Well, I just thought of that 5 minutes ago, so it's a work in progress. I get it. And I'm very grateful for Mike.
Jeffrey. That's what this is for.
Yep. A couple of days ago, everybody, I was meditating. Well, I meditate every day. It's a good thing. People would die if I didn't. But I'm meditating.
Go ahead. Sorry.
I'm
laughing.
I have to. No. That's what this is for, Mike. The laughter. I was meditating and I heard my 5-year-old grandson crying. Okay. And he says, Papa, I don't want to die. And I said, oh, well, son of a bitch, this is a first time situation for me. And yeah. Also, what the fuck? I want to meditate already, but I didn't say that out loud because he was already sad. I know I don't want to say what I was told, which was you better straighten your ass up or you're going to fry in hell forever. Because that's what I was told by my father. I love him. I love my dad. Okay, well, I'm still working on that bit too. Moving on. Bam. My mom calls me, she'll call me 3 times a day, sometimes, and leave messages. All right. Now I am so happy my mother is still living and breathing. Okay. But 3 messages is a little too much for me. Okay. All right. Just a tad. She says, you coming over? You gonna come over? I said, Mom, I'm coming over. All right. I'm going to come over. I go over there. She's sitting up, but then she starts to slink down and, hit her head on the coffee table. And she tells me about her day. She's like, I can't eat anything because, everything I eat turns to sand. Like it's like I'm talking to a fucking cursed pirate. You know what I mean? I was like, come on, Mom, you stop? Which makes me think of Pirates of the Caribbean. I love that ride. But what's great about that ride is just a bunch of animatronics, audio animatronics moving around. Yo ho, the pirates. That's all it is. And it was my mother that subjected me to that when I was a little boy. We would just watch them on TV, and I'm like, wow, look at that. And now just saying that out loud is a new bit. it makes me think I have some serious psychological problems that I should talk to somebody about. My name is Jeffery Burden. Please have a wonderful evening. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Yeah.
All right, Jeff.
Wow. Yeah. Jeff said everything I was going to say. Wow. Well, this has been a lovely show. Here's the thing that we do. Well, just so you know, it's not out of neediness on my part. I lead a full, rich life without doing this. But at the end of our shows, we usually leave the Zoom call on for a while. And if people want us to hang around and talk a little bit about comedy and listen to some sad, pathetic stories about my past, and who doesn't, feel free to stay on. And
we need to do a silly photo.
Probably talk about. I was just wondering, Chuck, do we do any other shows at all?
We do the Apocalypse Comedy Show, which is going to space this Sunday. Apocalypse Comedy Show live from space.
And don't we have a new feature on that about jokes and stuff?
Round robin of jokes. So mediums are welcome to drop in. Dani Riedel is going to be on the Apocalypse in Space show.
Did you notice?
And the round robin topic is Jeff Bezos versus Elon Musk.
Yes.
Oh yeah, we're gonna do some jokes on that. That'll be fun.
Hey Mike, Elon Musk says, Alexa, schedule my rocket to go to Mars. And Jeff Bezos says, Alexa, buy Elon Musk his rocket and Mars. Dani, sorry.
And there we go. That's
I set off your
that's the floor, ladies and gentlemen. It's hilarious. That's the floor.
Purchase something on Alexa on Dani's home account.
I think you might have just ordered something for me.
I'm really sorry. What can you do? Now's a good time to stop the YouTube live. Thanks everybody for watching. We should do a silly photo before we drop out on the YouTube. So
yeah.
On the count of 3, everybody look to their right and make a silly face. 1, 2, 3. Perfect.